Today, we're looking into the future, well, the near future at least. We're breaking down the absolute hottest IT jobs in Malaysia for 2026. So let's just dive right in. So, what are those golden ticket jobs? We're tearing into this really great analysis from Lemon Web Solutions that maps out the top 5 roles that Malaysian companies are going to be chasing like crazy. Whether you're just starting out or you're thinking about your next big move, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this. All right, here's the game plan. We'll start with the big picture trends that are fueling all this demand. Then, we'll walk through each of the 5 key roles layer by layer, and we'll wrap it up by talking about what this all means for you and your wallet. Okay, so let's get into it. Before we even talk about the specific jobs, you've got to ask, why are these roles so hot right now? Well, it all comes down to a few major tech forces that are shaping where companies are putting their money. It really boils down to these 4 massive shifts. You've got companies going all in on the cloud, they're automating everything they can to get faster, and they're beefing up security because, well, the threats are nonstop. And the big one, they're finally getting serious about actually using AI, not just talking about it. This isn't just hype anymore. This is where the budgets are going. And all that stuff, the cloud, the automation, the AI, it doesn't just appear out of thin air. It creates this huge demand for people who can actually build the foundation that it all runs on, which leads us straight to our first couple of roles. First up, the cloud engineer. And the key thing to understand here is that the cloud isn't some special side project anymore. It's the main stage. It is the default. If you're building a new app, a new data system, pretty much anything, you're doing it on the cloud. And yeah, this slide just lays it all out, right? As long as companies are all in on platforms like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure, well, the need for people who can actually run them isn't going anywhere. It's a straight line from how popular the platform is to how secure your job is. Okay, but building stuff is one thing. Making sure it doesn't fall over when you release it is a whole other story. And that, my friends, is where the DevOps engineer or site reliability engineer, the SRE, comes in. I absolutely love how the source puts it. They're the make it work reliably hero. These folks are basically the essential glue between the people dreaming up new features and the people trying to keep the site from crashing. Every company on the planet wants to move faster, but without all the drama and downtime. Nailing that is a seriously valuable skill. All right, so you've built your shiny new foundation, you're shipping code fast. What's next? You got to lock it down, right? Because all this new tech, all these new systems, well, they open up a whole lot of new doors for the bad guys. And that's the cue for our cybersecurity pros to enter the scene. Seriously, this role is in constant demand for a very simple reason. The bad guys never take a vacation, and neither do the regulators. It's a never-ending battle. Okay, now this slide is super interesting. Just look at that insane salary range for a cybersecurity engineer. That tells a story, doesn't it? It shows the massive difference between, say, someone who monitors a screen for alerts versus someone who architects an entire bank's defense system. The responsibility and the pay just goes through the roof. Okay, so now we're stable, we're secure. Now what? Now you finally get to play with the fun stuff, leveraging the most valuable thing a company has, its data. This is where we build the new intelligence layer. And listen, before you even dream of doing anything cool with AI, you need a data engineer. The source absolutely nails this with the plumbing analogy. They build the pipes. It's not glamorous, but without clean, reliable data flowing through those pipes, your fancy AI project is just, well, it's going to be a disaster. It's like that old gold rush story, right? Everyone's out there chasing the AI gold. But the folks making the real, steady money are the ones selling the picks and shovels. And in this world, the data engineers are the ones building that essential infrastructure. You just can't have one without the other. And that finally brings us to our 5th role, the one everyone's talking about, the AI/ML engineer. This is the person who takes all that beautifully clean data we just talked about and turns it into actual magic. Tools that can recommend a product, automate a boring task, or predict the future of the business. So why is this role exploding right now? Because we're finally moving past the AI as a cool experiment phase and into the AI has to actually work and make us money phase. It's one thing to build a cool demo in a lab. It's a whole other ballgame to make it work reliably for millions of users every single day. That's the challenge these engineers are paid to solve. So we've seen the 5 big roles. We've seen some pretty nice salary numbers next to them. But how do you actually turn that job description on paper into a real paycheck in your bank account? Right, let's have a quick reality check on all those numbers we've been looking at. You should definitely see them as a guide, not a guarantee, because a whole bunch of different things can push that final number up or down. You got to think about a few key factors. Where you work matters. Kuala Lumpur is going to pay differently than a smaller city. Your experience level, of course. The industry you're in? Yeah, big banks and telcos usually have deeper pockets. But the biggest one? It's all about what you can prove you've actually done. And honestly, this quote from the source says it all. This is probably the most important takeaway from this whole thing. At the end of the day, a long list of certificates is nice, but being able to walk into an interview and say, I shipped this, I improved that, or I saved the company this much money, that's what gets you in the door and gets you paid what you're worth. So there you have it. The trend is crystal clear, isn't it? The future of tech in Malaysia is being built on the cloud, it's being secured by cybersecurity pros, and it's being made intelligent with data and AI. The market wants people who can do, not just people who know. The opportunities are right there. So the only question left for you is, what are you going to build?